Hey everyone, it's Emily, and today we are working on the first of many apartments, starter apartments specifically, because I have actually decided to move my focus on my save file creation process to the city. So we're working on San Myshuno now. I was doing a series on my channel previously that I had called Willow Creek Development. Basically, I was just going through and rebuilding the world of Willow Creek. I've already completed Newcrest, and I decided to put Willow Creek on hold and move to San Myshuno, specifically because of terrain tools. As many of you are aware, I'm sure, we are getting terrain tools in the game. If you are not aware, they are going to be coming with a free update to the game in the beginning of November, so in less than a month we should be getting terrain tools. But in the meantime, I really don't want to work on Willow Creek because I would like to even go back and redo some of the lots that I've already done for that and use terrain tools to give the whole world a little bit more personality and just make it a little bit different. But the city doesn't need terrain tools because we're in apartments, so I thought this was the perfect time to work on some apartments and kind of get San Myshuno covered for this month, and then when terrain tools come out we can get back into the other worlds. I'm really glad that I hadn't worked on anything more than Newcrest, because to me Newcrest is kind of like basic suburban area. It's like newly developed, but at least that's the way I did it. It was kind of like an up-and-coming neighborhood, but it was still mostly like, you know, just a regular area. It was almost like not quite outside of the city, but it wasn't really like part of the city either. That's kind of how I did it. Like, it's more urban, but it's not quite like classic suburbs. I don't know if that makes any sense. If you look at what I've done with the world, then I'm sure you'll see what I'm talking about. I have a whole playlist of all my completed Newcrest builds, so feel free to check that out after this if you haven't seen them yet. But yeah, we're moving on to the city. So I have done all of the apartments in the CHIC Street building. This is one of them, and I think this is 1321 CHIC Street, I want to say. I'm not totally sure. It'll be probably the title of the video. I'm guessing, or it'll be in the description if it's not, and it's definitely going to be the title of the build on the gallery. So for all of the apartments that I'm doing specifically for my save file, I'm going to be titling them with the number so that if you want to place them into your own game, then you know where they're supposed to go. Also, all of the apartments, at least in the CHIC Street building, are starter apartments. I'm probably going to try to do that for any small apartment, anything that I deem, easily a starter apartment. I'll be doing that for certain apartments. If they're more than one bedroom, I probably won't do them as a starter, or if you can get more than one bedroom in there easily, probably not going to do them as a starter, just because I would rather give myself a little bit of an extra budget. I don't know. You know what? You guys let me know. Let me know if you want me to use a budget for all of the apartments, or if you just want a couple starter apartments. So if you're like playing in the save file in the future and you want to move into one of them, you can move in right away. Or if for the other apartments, do you care if I have a budget? Do you want it to be like a reasonable, like mid-range budget, like maybe 30,000 simoleons or 40,000 simoleons, or should I just go crazy? Because right now I'm planning on just going crazy. But if you would like some sort of budget that makes sense, then I would definitely like to incorporate that into this world. Another thing that I'm doing is for each section of San Myshuno, I'm using different packs. So these are all also kind of like limited pack builds, if you want to call them that. They're not base game and city living only, but they do only use like maybe 3 other packs in addition to that. For example, this area, I think we're in the fashion district, that's what it's called. But yeah, in the fashion district, I'm only using, so I'm using obviously base game and city living because you need those to have this world anyway. And then I decided to use jungle adventure, bowling night stuff, and vintage glamour. So if you have the jungle adventure game pack and then the 2 stuff packs that I mentioned, then you're good to go, and everything in this section of the world will show up just fine for you. If if you don't have those, you can probably easily swap things out. I mostly wanted to do it just so people who maybe have some packs but not all of the packs don't feel like they need to replace everything in my whole Sam My Shoe node just because I used a bunch of random clutter everywhere and maybe it doesn't look quite as full as it did in my builds, and then you put it in your game and you're like, what the heck? But if you have a couple of the packs, you should be pretty good to go on most of the sections. For this one specifically, I know that I used Jungle Adventure kitchen stuff, like all of the counters in this apartment block are using the Jungle Adventure counters, so that might be one thing that you would have to replace if you don't have Jungle Adventure, but you could also save some money that way if you decide to use the base game counters or the City Living cheaper counters, because I used those and I still stuck with the starter budget, so you might have some money left over. And for this apartment, I think that's all I've got, but if you want to stay tuned, in my next apartment voiceover, I'll be talking about some of the other things that I've done with these starter apartments, so make sure to subscribe to stay updated on the series and the save file progress. I hope you're having a great day, and thanks for watching. Bye!